morning and welcome to GBN Live. Today our guest is Angela Sims Fueling. We will be talking with her in a little bit. Right now we'd like to say thank you to our sponsor, Grand Strand Law Group. They are at 843-492-5422. They are in the Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach areas. You can contact them either by phone or at grandstrandlawgroup.com. I'm Lori Wetherill. I'm your host today, and make sure you give permission to Facebook so we can view comments. Go to streamyard.com/Facebook. And if you have any questions for today, just type them in the comment section and we will do our best to answer them live on air. Again, today's guest is Angela Sims Fueling. She's with ASF Bookkeeping in the Rivertown Chapter of GBN. Stay tuned, GBN Live is next. Welcome back. Again, today's guest is Angela Sims Fueling. Before we get started, how about if we ask just a little bit of general about you, what got you here, how long you've been here, and a little bit about your family.
Okay. Hi, Lori. Thanks. Yes. I moved to the Carolinas in 2008. Company I used to work for moved me down here and went home for a wedding once, and it rained, sleeted, and snowed. And I said to my husband, I think I've acclimated to North Carolina. And so we became permanent residents, right? So, and we moved here in 2008 over to the Charlotte area. And just recently this year, our son was moving to Charleston, and we wanted to move closer to him, so that's how we ended up in Conway. Yeah. I promised we wouldn't move too close. So
now, where is he? He's in Charleston.
No, actually, he ended up buying a house on the other side of the state where I used to live.
You told me that. I remember.
So, but he's only a few hours away versus he was in Florida, and it was a 10-hour drive. Yeah. So it's much better. Yeah, he's only 4 hours away.
Yeah, which is much nicer. Yeah, yeah. Mine are all over the world.
Yes.
So a little bit about ASF Bookkeeping. Can you tell us a little bit about it and how it came about?
Sure. My husband and I, we were talking about retirement, and we thought we wanted to travel the whole U.S. And so we bought our RV, and I wasn't going to be old enough when he retired. So I was thinking, what can I do to work while we're on the road? And I started ASF Bookkeeping Services because it's a virtual bookkeeping business. Okay. I can work anywhere in the world and still help my clients.
That's wonderful. So if somebody wanted to hire you, where would you begin with them as far as, do you meet with them in person? Do you do it over the phone? How do you best like to do it?
Usually the first time I try to, it could be a phone call or it could be a video. I use Zoom a lot. Okay. Right? So, and I'll do a meet with them, a meet and greet, and talk a little bit about their business so that I can see what their needs are. And I find out that, what they need to have done, and then we go from there.
Yeah. So there's lots of different kinds of bookkeeping.
Oh, yes. So there's, I do a wide variety of ranges. So I do some training. So when I look at a person's books, I look to see how many accounts they have and things like that. So we categorize their transactions so they go into the appropriate buckets for tax purposes. Okay. Yeah. And then we reconcile everything at the end of each month to make sure that they know what their profit is, right? It's important to know where your business is.
So what is your favorite part?
It's actually all of it. Is it? I love working with numbers, right? I guess the most favorite part is at the end of the month, I have a meeting with each of my clients to tell them, how their business is doing, and we go over their profit and loss statement and things like that, and try and give them hints on what they can do to reduce some costs and things like that. But we joke around when we do, and it's always video, and I get to see them, they get to see me, so that's a lot of fun.
Do Do you have anybody that tapes over the screen so the camera doesn't show?
I do have one client. He will. He says, I'm not presentable today. So it's when he works from home.
Okay.
Most people, when they work from home, they make sure the lower half is, the upper half
Dress
is good,
up from
right?
the neck up.
Exactly. So, and he's very funny. He's a really nice guy. And he said, yeah, my hair's just not doing it today. So, but most of the time, all my clients do meet me on the video.
Yeah. I know when we have ours at the beach, I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that today. So I hear you work a lot with QuickBooks.
Yes.
How do you set that up with them? Do you have them go in and do things first, or do you put it all in, or how do we?
So I do.
Okay.
Some of my clients already have QuickBooks, so then I go in and I look and I see where they are in their QuickBooks. A lot of my clients, I've had to go in and do a cleanup, which is a lot of fun too, because you're trying to look for the errors that the previous person did. and I actually, for one client, I found a huge mistake, and he got money back from the IRS because his income was overstated.
Well, he likes you.
Yes, and he does.
You paid for your You paid for his your services through that.
I sure did. So, but when somebody doesn't have QuickBooks, I get all their information, and QuickBooks allows you to link your accounts, like your a checking account, a savings account, credit card accounts. And so when it links to those, it pulls all the transactions in. Okay. And that allows us to go in and put them into the appropriate buckets.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So there's lots of different type of reporting as well as buckets with QuickBooks as far as how you set up to, because like with me, I need P&Ls and I need balance sheets and stuff like that from clients. And do you do all that? Yes.
The balance sheet and the income statement for the month is the standard reports plus a cash flow. Okay. And the cash flow is important so that you can see what's coming in and what's going out. It's a very high level, but it shows you, what you've made for up to that point in the year, and then what you've also spent out. For my clients, do a little bit extra. I do a P&L where it shows each month, so that they can see, January is a good month, February not so much. So maybe what can we do to get February's numbers up? Okay. And they can look at that. And it compares the expenses as well. So how come, office supplies are so high? Maybe you need to talk to your office manager and say, what are you doing? What are you spending this on?
Too many sticky notes.
Too many sticky notes. That's a thing with me.
I know it is. That's why I said.
We've talked about it before, yes. Mm-hmm. I just don't see the reason for sticky notes. But anyway, so I produce that. And then if the company's been in business for more than 1 year, I actually compare it to their previous year as well. So see January over January. Okay. And those are the reports that I give. Those are extra reports, but I do those just for my clients. It's a little something I give them.
I know you like doing this.
Mm-hmm. I do.
So you're in my group, so we get to talk more than most people do. So
that's true.
So when I had my business, QuickBooks intimidated me so much. So how do you help people who QuickBooks intimidates them? Or do you just do it all and they just don't have to worry about any of it?
Well, no, I have some clients who want to do it themselves. And so what I do is the service I offer for that is to oversee. So they'll do their daily transactions. And then at the end of the month, I'll look at everything, make sure everything's in place. I'll talk to them. I say, well, this should go in this bucket, not this bucket, and things like that. And that usually happens with one of the things for tax purposes is meals. The government looks at those. What do you, because you can throw anything in those meal buckets. So if it's just you buying a lunch for the office, that's only a 50%. Okay. If you're taking out clients for dinner, that's to promote business, then that's an actual, or you're traveling somewhere, that's an actual expense. Okay. So, and you get that at 100%. So it's things like that that I help them to see.
So if you're driving to a destination to meet a client and you get hungry along the way and you buy yourself something to eat.
It's on me.
Okay.
Yes. So I can put it in and get 50% back.
Okay.
But again,
Because it
I'm a
was-
virtual business, so it's a little harder for me to explain that. Right? So
Now, do you ever go and meet clients, or is it 100% virtual?
and occasionally I'll go. As a matter of fact, I'm going to Charlotte this week, and I have a new client that I'm going to go meet her and go over some stuff since I'm going to be there. She's a brand new client, and I thought I'd just add that extra touch and go see her.
Nice. So we'll be back in a little bit after a break, and we'll discuss sales tax and other reporting that you might do. Stay tuned. We'll be back after the break.
Hi, I'm Justice Ann. I've been a canine liaison at Grand Strand Law Group for, 30 years? What's that? You don't believe me? I meant 30 dog years, of course. First rule of lawyering, read the fine print. Anywho, my humans at Grand Strand Law Group have a combined 20 years experience. I know, not as much as me, but that's in people years. So yeah, still pretty impressive. Real estate, estate planning, or probate, you need GSLG.
Grand Strand Law Group. Trust us, we have a dog.
Great Business Networking grew out of the idea that by creating lasting friendships within the community, we can make the community even better.
I was looking to network with professionals and to be able to refer my clients to somebody that I trust.
Well, it's really important to trust the members of the group because we really generate quality referrals, and to know somebody, be friends with them, and get that qualified referral is the key to success.
It is networking, but it doesn't feel like networking, and that is important to me. I come to the meetings, I have fun, I make great connections, and I help grow my business.
GBN, these are some of the best professionals in the market, and having that resource available to me, that's priceless.
Well, GBN is a network of business professionals that build long-lasting friendships that will not only grow my business, will grow yours as well. That's what referral marketing is all about.
GBN really is the most important marketing for your business. Check us out today.
Hi, and welcome back to GBN Live. I'm Lori Wetherill with the Rivertown Chapter. Today's guest is Angela Sims Fueling. I do that all the time
Yes,
to
you
you.
do. That's okay.
With ASF Bookkeeping. And we'd like to remember to thank our sponsors, Grand Strand Law Group at 843-492-5422. They are in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach, and you can contact them by phone or also at grandstrandlawgroup.com. Welcome back, Miss Angela.
Thank you.
If you have any questions for GBN or today's guest, please don't forget to type them in your comments, and we'll do our best to get them answered here on GBN Live. If you have any bookkeeping questions that you're stumped on or might have some need some assistance with, feel free. So if my business collects sales tax and along that line, can you help us in reporting what's needed to help separate all the payments the proper way?
Yes, I have a client that, a couple of clients that I do their sales tax. We actually enter it into North Carolina Department of Revenue.
Okay.
So we get what happens is we take the invoices and what cash that they've earned during that month. And depending on the business, whether you're a cash business or an accrual business, when you have to pay the sales tax. If you're a cash business, that's when you pay the sales tax when you actually receive it.
Okay.
As far as an accrual business, then you would pay the sales tax right then and there, and then your client we pay it 60 days later or 30 days later,
Okay.
whatever their net is with you as a business. So, but we go in and we produce the report in QuickBooks, and it sets it up very nicely that all we do is take the numbers from there and just enter it into the sales tax portals. And each state has a different sales tax portal, and we can do any of them.
Now, do you write the checks for them, or do they write the checks for the revenue? And
No. I had a professor that when I first took accounting a long time
years
ago. And so he told us never do the books and write checks. So I'm very adamant about that. If a client wants me to I won't sign checks. Now I'll create them for them and for them to sign. But most companies, all of my businesses, they write their own checks because they have their checkbook with them. Right. So.
Is that for more of a fraud purpose, or?
Yes, it's for auditing purposes too. I have 2 clients that work together, but I have 2 different ladies working on those accounts.
Okay.
So that it keeps it separate.
Okay. So you handle the payables and receivables?
Yes. So when clients get their bills, they give them to us, and we enter them in, and then produce a report at the end of each week and say, okay, here's the bills that are due, and we let them know what is due so that they can pay them. And as far as clients go, if I create a accounts receivable report for them and show them, look, this client is at 60 days, he's 30 days past due, so that they know who has to pay, who they need to collect from. I don't actually do the collections.
Okay.
But we let the clients know.
So that everybody's
on the same page.
So what about people who have been working with other bookkeepers and hire you? How much of a mess is that to transfer things over? And
well, I've had one out of all my clients that it came over very nicely. So
only one that came over nice.
One. So but it takes some time. So there's an upfront fee for that, for us to go back, and depending how far back we have to go, and we'll go back to previous years if need be. But most of the time, it's just back to the beginning of the current year, and we go in and we make sure we look through each of the accounts, and we make sure that everything's in the appropriate buckets and that everything is entered.
So you're good at cleaning up other people's messes and helping them get back on track.
Yes, that's another fun part of it.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it. Again, it's trying to find the mistakes and fixing them for the clients, and making their life easier. That's the whole purpose. I love helping my clients.
And I get to see that every week, and when you talk about it. So
yes.
You touched on the monthly P&Ls, the profit and loss, and annual balance sheets and stuff. Anything further on that you want people to know on what you do for your services and stuff on that?
So I don't do taxes, right? I don't do the taxes for my clients. There's different rules that you have to follow, and not follow, but you have to keep up on the new tax laws and things like that. And so I don't do those. But what I do is I do a prep statement for the CPA. So we make sure that everything's in, and we go over it. We make sure everything's okay. And the client's CPAs also have access to QuickBooks.
Okay.
So that they can go in and double check my work, which is what they're supposed to do, because when they file for the taxes, they need to make sure that what they're filing is correct.
Okay.
So they go in, but I do a prep sheet, and we get that ready, and I go over that with the clients before they take it to their accountants.
Okay. So let's say I call you up and I'm interested in your services, and we're going to meet for the first time. What is it you need from me?
So, just the first phone call is just a get to know. I get to know your business, and then let you know how I can help you with your books. And once we've determined that, then the question is, what kind of accounts do you have? Do you have a checking and a savings, credit cards, loans?
Okay.
We also take care of the loans as well, making sure that your balance matches the principal balance
Okay.
of your loan, because you obviously, everybody knows you pay interest. The bank needs to make their money too, right? So we separate out the interest, and then you can see just your principal balance that's left for the loan. But and then we need the statements for those. And a lot of times I work with my clients, they give me read-only access to their accounts,
Okay.
that we can go in there and we can pull statements on our own. Because when you have a check that's written on the statement, all it says is check number blah blah blah, right? Doesn't give you any other information. So how do we know where to categorize that?
Okay.
So getting into the bank account, we can go and look at that check and see who you wrote that check to, and then put it in the appropriate category.
Do you have to reprimand people and remind them to put things in the memo as to what it's for? And
Yes, I do. But what we do is, when it's something we don't know, there's a bucket called uncategorized expenses or uncategorized income
okay.
that we're not sure where that belongs. And we send that to our clients and say, hey, we're not sure what these are. Can you please tell us what they are so we can put them in the bucket? And they do that. And then at the end of the month, we've got everything in place.
Do you have a client that you've had more fun with than others that have an unusual story or anything you can or would share?
My first client, he's an attorney, and he's from New York, like I am. The CPA that I know that recommended me to him said he's a little difficult to. He's a little different, is what he told me, and I was like, okay. So, and when I first met with Tim, he was a nice guy. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because he's in New York and he seemed rough, but I don't see him that way. And when I started expanding my business, he goes, "You're not going to forget me, are you?" I said, "Tim, you're my first client. I will never forget you." So, and he is my favorite one.
Okay.
He's easy. I send him stuff. He sends it right back. And
Don't you love those?
yes, he's terrific.
Yeah, I have some that I actually have to call realtors and tattle on them. So when you do get one that's nice, I mean, that helps really
I
nice.
send emails or I send texts and I call and say, I can't do this without you sending me this stuff. I'm dead in the water. So the clients need to make sure that they give us what we need in order to be able to do their books.
And if they don't, who do you tattle to?
I tattle to them.
Yeah.
I have fired a client before.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Because they just wouldn't.
Yeah.
You can't do your job if they don't help you out.
And I'm not a babysitter, right? I'm to help you grow your business.
Yeah.
And I love helping people, and that's what I want to do. And so if you're not going to cooperate with me, I can't help you.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, cool. So now is a fun time. We're going to ask you some unusual, silly, nonsense questions to get to know a little bit more about you.
Okay.
What was your first job?
Wendy's.
Did you do the drive-through?
Yes. I was 15 and John was the manager, and I went every week. Can I get a job yet? Can I get a job yet? He said, "Are you 16?" I said, "Nope." He said, "Come back when you're 16. And I did this for a couple months. And then finally, I went in and I said, can I have a job yet? And he said, are you 16? I said, yes. He came out and handed me a uniform.
Nice.
Yep.
There you go. Mine was Jack in the Box.
But, we had
food is
Jack in the
fast
Box too.
food.
That's a long time ago. Yep.
So are you a night owl or an early bird?
I'm a night owl.
Now, do you work late or do you just stay up late?
I work late.
Do you?
Yes, especially at month end.
Mm-hmm.
The
yeah.
last week of the month and the first week of the month. I like to try and get my clients stuff to them by the 10th of the month,
Okay.
so that they know where they stand. So if I have to stay up till 1 a.m, I do that.
Yeah. And I know the answer to this. Are you a cat or a dog person?
I'm a dog
I
person.
know you have 3.
I have 3 husky. 2 are husky mixes and one's full-blooded. She's the one who's going to give me gray hair. But she's a good girl, and I love them all to pieces.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Dark chocolate. It's better for you. At least that's what I tell.
I know that's what
it is better for you, but in moderation, right?
I know. You can't eat the whole.
No.
We got a package of it real quick, and it's dark, so it's good for us. We can eat the whole thing, right?
No.
Your favorite color?
My favorite color is black's not really a color, but I like black.
I know.
Yeah. So I guess pink was not my favorite color. My mother made our room pink and green, and I hated pink and green because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted a blue room.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe blue is my favorite color. But Mom always said I look good in pink. So, and now look at me, I'm in pink.
At least it's not pink and green.
No. I still don't like green.
Not even the deeper colored ones? Or
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
Okay. So your favorite word or phrase?
My favorite word or phrase? Wow. Thingamajig. When I don't know what something is, I said, that thingamajig.
I do that with people. What's her name? Lucy Watson. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Has to be one with Sam Elliott in it, because I love all his movies, actually. So probably Mask, the one he was in with Cher. It was about a young boy who had elephant face.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. I didn't remember him being in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite song?
Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your favorite place to vacation?
I haven't been there yet. I'm hoping to go in September as part of my trip. I'm going to Ireland.
Okay.
But I've always wanted to go to Italy.
Okay.
So it's closer to Ireland than it is to here. So I'm going to visit family in Ireland, and we're going to take a weekend over to Rome.
Nice.
Yes. I'm excited.
You should be.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be gone just a week?
Yes.
Okay. It's a lot to pack in a week.
It is.
But it's good.
Oh, yeah. That's all right. It's nothing saying I can't go back, but at least I get to go to the Vatican. That's what I really wanted to do, is go to the Vatican.
My daughter's most influenced one was in Israel, and she got to see the tomb, and she said, Mom, it was life-changing. So, yeah. But I would think the Vatican would be equally as cool.
I'm excited about it.
Favorite mobile app?
Favorite mobile app? My MapQuest. It helps me get around. I use it all the time. All the time.
It's GBN. Favorite app is GBN.
No,
I'm kidding.
That's my second favorite app, is the GBN app.
I'm messing with you.
Well, I'm from New York, and it's, learning my way around here, and I just moved to this area. I know, it's okay.
You know. All right, so thank you for coming in. Is there anything you'd like to share with us before we go?
The only thing I would like to share with anybody that's watching, you should always make sure, no matter who's doing your books, whether it's a CPA or accountant, or a bookkeeper like myself, you need to know what's going on with your business, and you need to stay on top of them, because if you don't hire the right person, you can end up in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I have a client that's in a whole lot of trouble because her accountant didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Yeah. And what you told me was pretty scary. I mean, that's going to be costly.
Yes. So it really is important for you to know who you're working with.
Well, if you need bookwork done, you need to get a hold of Angela. Her number is 631-871.
No.
Well, that's what I have.
No, it's 803
Okay.
970-9570.
Okay. Well, use that number.
And then I also have a website. It's asfbookkeeping.com.
Okay. So just get in touch with Angela. If you can't get in touch with her, give us a buzz and we will find her for you. Before we go, the network marketing, the GBN, what can you say is been most beneficial for you in joining?
So the young lady who sold me my house told me about GBN. She was my first friend. And she said, because I moved here not knowing anybody, and she said that I would, if I joined GBN, I would find true friends. And she's right. I have you and our chapter, but other chapters going to the after hours and meeting everybody else all the time. The camaraderie is just wonderful.
Yeah.
And everybody truly wants to help each other.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's so amazing because when you do refer somebody, you know that you can trust them.
Yes.
Because, back to our thing is if you get to know, like, and trust somebody, you want to build them and you want to help them out.
Yes.
And being able to refer somebody you trust is priceless.
It's very important. It really is.
And I would recommend you over.
Well, thank you.
So thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching. Remember, if it's Wednesday, it's GBN Live. See you next time.
Okay.